So it's early fall, it's San Francisco, there's a big blue sky behind me, which can only mean one thing. It's time for Big Red, Oracle Open World. So it's a huge event, lots of change, obviously lots of talk around big data, cloud, consumerization, mobility, all the things you would expect. But actually one of the things that struck me, and it was a point made by Hurd when he was giving his keynote, is really this strategic stability of Oracle and how really a lot hasn't changed. I was struck by a great focus on partnership, being part of the ecosystem. And so you see people like Microsoft and Dell and Fujitsu being part of the big presentations. But nonetheless, it's the strategic stability that struck me more than some of the big announcements, even though there were some very important product announcements at the event.
What's interesting from the Oracle perspective is ultimately what they're going to tell you is they own everything. So they've got everything down to the hardware, they own that database, they own that application middle tier, they own all the way up to the application. What this allows them to do is they've got some secret sauce in there, built in so they can take that application, talk directly to the storage, and in doing so, what are they doing? Improving performance, improving consolidation. Interesting things to pay attention to though, is what does it do from a licensing perspective? In some cases, people that are investing in the Exadata system are actually able to reduce some of their licensing costs. Now Oracle's going to get you from the hardware perspective, but still looking at overall consolidation picture. Now what they've done with the Exadata system that's now in its 4th generation, then they've gone off and taken that into the next layer, so that app layer with Exalogic. So the same idea, consolidated integrated system, whatever we want to call it, really focusing on that app tier. Then really, if you look way down the row there, there's some Exalytics down there. And what that's really focused on is being able to take and get access to the information. And it's all about speed. So the big data problem really isn't necessarily the amount of data, it's how fast I can access that data. And then what Oracle's done is they've taken those 3 core systems and also have a general purpose system. So that's their virtual compute appliance. And this is running Oracle Virtual Machine, made for Windows and Linux workloads, and ultimately looking at the rest of the data. So you've got your Exadata, your Exalogic for apps, and then you've got your Exalytic to really get access to that information, and then Oracle Virtual Compute Appliance looking at the rest of things.
After all is said and done, lots of things are really important in IT, but ultimately what's most important is the data. You know, Larry himself said, it's the information age. It's not the mobile age, it's not the cloud age, it's not the internet age, it's the information age. It's about the information and how you access it and how you manage it.
So let's talk a couple of product specifics. Obviously for Oracle's core business, the biggest thing was talking about 12c and in-memory database, a huge step forward. The usual hundreds of announcements. Obviously I look on the storage side, and so I'm very interested in the new ZS3, the latest iteration of the ZFS storage appliance from Oracle. Really powerful beast. And also, if you like, at the lower end of the stack, but increasingly important in a world of big data, is the new the T10D, the latest 8.5 terabyte capacity tape drive from Oracle.
So look at who's standing here behind me. It's Cisco, KPMG, all the storage vendors. It's really incredible. And imagine the 60,000 people that are attending here today. Each one is creating, some of them, gigabytes of data every day that they're here. Multiply that by the 300 million people, the couple of billion networked people on the planet. That is a tremendous amount of data.
I mentioned big data. What was really interesting to me is even that phrase is becoming one that gets used in different ways by different people. I noticed on the screen talking about some customer case studies that Oracle had. One customer said, look, I don't like big data, I like to talk about massive data. Another one said, I don't like big data, I like to talk about smart data. And I think that's just interesting. It's become, if you like, you've got big data with capital letters and big data with small letters. It's all important, and of course to Oracle, which has the whole stack, top to bottom, they really don't care which one you're doing because they've got the applications, they've also got the infrastructure.
The other thing I've been paying attention to, 2 best friends all of a sudden, Microsoft and Oracle. What's happening there? Brad Anderson got up on stage today during a keynote, really interesting. Really going through the consistency of experience of on-prem and Microsoft Azure or with the service provider. In doing so, they announced Oracle. So the Oracle database, Java, WebLogics, all running on Azure. Take your licenses, running on Windows and Linux. So that's going to be an interesting relationship to watch. They're just doing it in preview now, but really getting to the point where they can do it in GA. Hopefully you'll see it later this year, early next year. But great things to take away from here, really looking at it from a business point of view, a lot more than other events that I've tended to take a hardware point of view.
Thomas Kurian pointed out from the stage that over the last 12 months, on average, Oracle had announced a new product every day of the working year. With such a big portfolio, it's impossible to cover everything, but what really matters at events like this is the tone. As ever, Oracle dominated the center of the city for a few days. As ever, Oracle wasn't shy about promoting its success and itself, nor was its leader, although some of the time he was off busy winning the America's Cup.